Nakes into a Terrorblade. Especially with the Bounty Hunter in the pool, you can just like they always just see where you're going, and so you can play around that. And if you're not getting these pickoffs, if you're not having a super good laning stage, then Terrorblade gets the Mantiscati, and then it's just over.
5 seconds remaining.
Elements may have been in a bit of a tricky situation as we see going right into this bonus time.
Are they gonna take the Slark? Are they gonna swift ending Slark?
PA. I mean, I feel we talked about the lifestealer not being good. Is PA really that much better of a solution? I mean, surely he still suffers from similar issues against the Windbridge and the Terrorblade, unless he's hitting the crits and getting lucky.
It looks like a terrible PA game. It's pretty bad versus the Terrorblade, pretty bad versus the Windranger.
I mean, he gets blown up by the Ember.
Yeah, blown up by Ember. You really don't like getting tracked on that hero because then people will just like kind of run away from you. The Shuriken is a decent amount of burst damage.
I mean, it's nice with the Slardar. It feels like maybe this is what Elements wanted to do, but you feel that maybe they're not thinking too much about how well Secret is prepared to deal with a pick like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did want the Lifestealer, and maybe I think the PA is a better...
It's better than the Lifestealer.
I think maybe it's better than the Lifestealer.
Reserve time.
I say that, but it's so bad versus Ember Spirit. There are a whole lot of single target, and there are a lot of single target versus Terrorblade and versus lane. Okay, so they do. All right, I knew they were gonna pick Slark. It's swift ending Slark. All right, so it's
whoa. And then instantly they were not hesitating their Secret.
Oh boy.
I mean, you said the swift ending Slark is something that we know that Elements are good at. Do you think Secret knew that the Slark was coming? They were like, all right.
I think they were fine with the Slark.
Yeah. So the Broodmother, the final pick. And it is indeed, by the looks of it, going to be that position 5 or 4 win range.
Yeah, either a 5 or 4 Bounty Hunter. We'll see which one ends up being. I think that it may be pretty flexible. I don't think it matters too much.
Kind of on a similar level in terms of what they're going to get done. But very interesting finisher from Secret. I mean, it feels like Secret had the more confident draft. Like they knew what they were going to do with that final pickup. But the question is, can Elements make it work? PA and Slark, their last 2.
Remaining.
I think they're like very all in on this, like just picking heroes off all over the map.
Amplifying the
PA, Nyx, Slardar. It's a lot of single target damage. It's a lot of pickoff. But I feel like whenever your lanes are gonna do as badly as they are, Ember is favored against the PA. This Broodmother is gonna have a very nice time top, I think. Actually, I don't know how nice of a time he will have. To be honest, I think Slark is one of the better carries against the Brood.
Okay.
I think if you give the Slark a decent start, he can actually solo, not too badly. Against the Brood, you give him like a level 2, level 3, and you give him a Sentry in the lane, I think he can do okay.
And of course, they are going to get to that point as well, EPG, with it. They do have the Slardar. They've got means of hunting down the Broodmother.
Yeah, for sure. I think sort of the only problem is they really just don't have the greatest of means to deal with this Terrorblade. You know, the Slark is known for being a pretty good carry against the Terrorblade, and they have a lot of stuns for sure. But it's a lot of single target stuns.
30 seconds to battle.
It's it's just all of this like single target focus. And whenever you have heroes like that, there's this innate risk of if you're not killing that hero, if you're not blowing up one hero at the start of a fight, then things can turn very, very grim very quickly. They really don't have great lane pushers. They have there are 3 heroes that all just kind of want to run it heroes. Slark wants to be up the map. Rubik is really the only hero that is like okay with being in lanes and pushing them out. So, they also have this Bounty Hunter to scout it out. So I feel like this Bounty, even though it was first pick, ends up being very, very good against the style that EPG are wanting to play.
I mean, that really is the thing, EPG, how are they taking towers with this lineup?
Yeah, they really just need to kill heroes.
They just got to get those kills, haven't they? They really have, but as we kind of mentioned in the draft, Secret have very good means of killing the lineup of EPG.
Yeah, they can maybe take this top tower if they give the Slark a decent start, and then they like wrap the Slaughter and the Rubik around behind the tower. If they pushed it in, they maybe kill the Brood that way, but it's really tricky because it's a Brood. It's not some normal offliner. She's going to be off in the trees, farming jungle camps. And starting up these 2 heroes up here, they're going to punish the Slark so much. She doesn't have the 4-man shield yet. Actually, bought the Quelling Blade at the side shop, so it's going to take him a couple of waves to get up to that 4-man shield. He may get punished until he gets up to that.
Puppey just straight and close at the moment. I'm going to bring in Pi as well. Goes for the first power shot. And Secret with the three of them up top going head to head with the Trilane of EPG at the moment. So that will leave the other lanes to the straight 1v1. Mid one on the other spread up against Gogi on his PA and down on the bottom lane. MP against Mitch and Secret. Running around with LeBron. LeBron. The crush onto Puppey, but Puppey feeling very safe and confident, close and personal with the supports of EPG, harassing them back. So, I mean, now this lane situation has started to settle down like this. Is this fine for Secret, you feel, leaving the Terrorblade on his own against the Nyx Assassin? MP gonna have a fine time, or can the Nyx cause some issues?
No, I think he'll do absolutely fine there. Once he gets the Performance Shield, have a Quelling Blade, they'll just trade farm. And I think at some point, once the Terrorblade maybe like level 4, level 5, the Bounty Hunter can potentially rotate down here. They can try and kill this Nyx Assassin and then take his tower. As EPG's heroes is sort of another thing. This Rubik is really their only tower defense. He's pretty committed up to this top lane, helping out the Slark and dealing with these multiple heroes. So if the Bounty Hunter makes a smart rotation down the bottom, once he gets some levels, they can maybe kill this Nyx and then take the bottom tower and open up the map for the Terrorblade to farm.
It's this mid lane, mid one, getting very aggressive, knowing that it's unlikely that EPG sending any backup with the pressure that the rest of his side's putting on up top. And already the mid lane CS, 14 for 2, 7 for 0. Ember Spirit certainly having the favorable time in this 1v1.
Yeah, he is, Ember loves just having these matchups where it's melee versus melee, because, obviously, if you can't break his Flame Guard and you're melee, then you're going to have a real hard time dealing with him constantly just walking up to you and popping the Flame Guard. And now that he's level 4, has the 2 points in chains, his PA can definitely die, as I don't think you can use Phantom Strike whenever you're chains. So you're kind of just stuck there, you get burnt down, and then by that time your wave has just started, it's not behind you, it's like right next to you. So you're not really blinking away. And I think mid one very happy with the lane, especially kind of on his tail. It's going to push back out, so I don't think it'll be the worst thing in the world for Gogi. He can last it with the daggers if worst comes to worst, since he does get that one there. But yeah, I think mid one very, very happy with this. And it's not the greatest Ember game as far as just like hero versus hero matchups wise. Okay. They do have the Nyx, they have Slaughter, they have Rubik, they have a fair amount of disables for him, but I think the bigger thing is that the cores just really don't touch this Ember Spirit. It's more the support's doing well, but they're not having a good game, so.
Looking at Puppey as well at the moment on this bounty early on, what is them? Does he have to find himself involvement in kills, or is he fine just kind of playing getting the vision, eventually getting the 6, or does Secret need to up the pace early on this game?
I think as long as he's like securing farm for his cores, as long as he's keeping heroes in place, is just being a nuisance, letting his cores get these 1v1s. You can see MP doing very, very well down bottom, up like 7 CS. With mid one having a great time mid, KheZu doing great up top. I think that's like all Puppey needs to do. These heroes have a nice time, and he may even try and snipe the courier here. I think actually loses vision of it just barely, but yeah, keeping the supports pinned up there. They're both only level 1. Both the supports at 4 minutes. It's quite grim, and if they don't have the kind of levels that they need, if they don't have level 3, level 4, then this Brood is just kind of unkillable, and it's going to be a massive nuisance.
Mid lane. Trying to make a bit of a go here onto Gogi. They've got Pi coming across as well. Chains is going to connect. I'm going to find him with the shackle shot though, as Gogi will be able to get himself back to safety. Has the presence of Cole in the neighborhood as well, in case things get a little too nasty. And also LeBron heading across, prepared for any sort of action. Just trying to mirror the movements of Secret's duo supports and make sure that they don't cause too many issues for their own cause on the side of Elemental Pro Gaming.
Yeah, big GG there. Maybe trying to get a stun on him.
The problem is actually allowed to find the DD, and with that, mid one in a lot of trouble, and he's gone first blood for Elements, despite the pressure that Secret's been putting on. And Gogi is going to be over the moon with that one.
Yeah, his chains weren't cool enough for 1 second, so wasn't able to change the Slaughter whenever he was running up. It was just barely. I'm sure he was slamming his Q key, but just barely gets the stun off, and mid one goes down. It's definitely the kind of stuff they need. They need to find these kills. Unfortunate scenarios where just the spell wasn't cool enough for just a little bit. They get this pick-me-up kill, and it puts PA a little bit ahead, Ember a little bit behind. They really need stuff like that, because the Slark he's getting some farm up top, but it's not the...
Despite the pressure, it's not the best farm, it's not free farm, but they didn't really shut him down, it doesn't feel like. 28 CS, he's only a few behind, half a wave or so behind MP. And MP had a very, very kind of undisturbed lane, only Mitch in the neighborhood, no support rotations whatsoever. So, all things considered, this isn't too bad for Swifted.
No, not at all. And, you know, Slark is one of the better heroes versus the Brood. Once you have the Shadow Blade, you can start hunting through the jungle. You get your team to buy you a gem, although the support's maybe a little hard-pressed to build up that amount of gold. But once you get the gem, you get the Shadow Blade, you just start running through your jungle all the time, and it's, you know, just free kills on this Brood. Doesn't really build any HP items for quite some time, except unless she goes for, like, that Echo Saber build, which we'll see what she goes for, but... Yeah, the Slark has a very nice time versus the Brood. And it's, you know, it's a pretty nice Slark game in general. Can be rough versus Ember if you're behind, as you can't really man fight him. But if you get to that point where you have the Basher, you have the BKB, you can sit there and man fight the Ember. It can actually turn it to Slark's favor.
Puppey sitting down here on this bottom lane. Step there to back up MP. There's there are members off the map of EPG, and EPG actually going to make a go here. They're going to bring in the PA. Shackle Shot's going to do absolutely nothing, and EPG with the lockdown take down MP. I have to say, this is EPG certainly using the tools that they have to massive effect. 2 kills on the board, and Secret, they were able to secure the farm in lanes, but it doesn't necessarily feel like they were able to do enough in terms of shutting down heroes. Swift Ending should be in trouble top. He's going to pounce out, has a TP at the ready. Puppey is hunting for him. Swift Ending not even going to need to TP out as the backup comes through from LeBron. And again, Secret unable to find a kill there.
Yeah, I think this top tower not being taken yet is pretty huge for EPG. As I say, that MP TP's up here, so this tower is definitely going down. 3 points in the meta, 4 points of Conjure Image. May not even need to use the Metamorphosis. But yeah, I think keeping that top tower alive for as long as they did is very, very nice for the for Slark and just for EPG in general. It forces this Brood to continue to be up here. But I think taking this tower now, MP is going to have a lot of space around on this side while Highlight gets this farm bottom. So it was kind of low on levels because they were pressuring top in sort of a tri-lane scenario. But now can come down to bottom, get up a little bit more levels, maybe get up to that solar crest at a reasonable time, which I think is really, really good for winning into this game.
Mitch immediately was looking for a bit of action there. Unfortunately, the pot that does this saw the illusion being taken, and they saw the illusions, but already Puppey was well out of the way, back safety out of harm's way. Top lane MP, as you mentioned, didn't use Metamorphosis for the first down, but it certainly Puppey to put a bit of harassment on for the second. Elements will react though. They have 4 members up here. Mitch and Vendetta, of course, still on cooldown after that last bit of movement mid. It's pretty hard for them to jump into anything, so he'll TP to the mid lane. Make sure that Gogi isn't chased down by any members of Secret. Just continue to try and maintain vision of the presence of the players of Element. MP feeling confident with the backup of KheZu, sticking on this top lane with a large spider army, trying their best to bring down this tier 2, and Elements are suffering to stop this sort of a push.
Yeah, I think this is a super good rotation from Secret. They're forcing a whole lot of heroes from EPG up here. It's very selfless play. MP not just sitting bottom, focusing on his own farm will give Highlight Eye some space, so it goes from level 3 to level 5 now. Probably working towards, you know, phase boots or just getting a wand, getting range up, getting these small items is really, really nice for quality of life with the supports. Mid one getting free farm.
Look at this Puppey, the courier hunter. He's only gone and found it. It was hiding in a tree line there. I mean, they did have an observer ward just round the corner. I don't know if it necessarily came across that path or maybe past this one, and he didn't see it move any further. But he knew they were hiding it there, and he found it and he took it down.
Yeah, so he gives him some nice XP. He was only like level 3 at the time, so not gonna be the fastest track, but they do end up bringing down the Brood.
Oh,
so, oh goodness.
Those fade. Oh, bounce. Forever. And indeed, the Spider's taking it down in return. Bottom lane, they did end up getting the kill on the starter. Everyone moved in. By Shackle, control and lockdown to allow that burning flame guard to bring him out. So Secret getting themselves a couple of kills on the map. Mid lane, Gogi going in very heavily onto Secret here behind the tower. Gonna have to start to back up. TP's coming through, but not actually going to be punished for that one at all. Gogi, knowing that he had the space and place to go in hard hitting, find the kill, certainly put a shiver down Puppey's spine.
Yeah, just pressuring a little bit, doing whatever he can. It's kind of hard for him to do anything after those initial rotations. They did get some kills, and the PA had a better start than I think we expected, but
oh, yeah, sure.
Still not really in a position where he can do so much. They're kind of just waiting for this Slark Shadow Blade, and then they can eventually go around and make things happen, make space for the rest of his team. especially the Slaughter to get to his Blink Dagger, I think is kind of what they're waiting for. Until that point, they kind of have a hard time doing anything. And the Terrorblade's Metamorphosis is up, so we'll see if they make a move for that, or if they just want to farm until the Dragonlance on the Terrorblade, or what they're waiting for. Mid one actually went for the Boots of Travel first, which I think is really good this game. It allows him to be like he is right now, play down in bottom lane, play more of this role where he can keep the lanes out and DP.
Well, and in fact, not just the one. Remnants forward with the change. He gets a second. Mid one. And entirely outplaying there, LeBron and Mitch, as the two of them moved in on him to try and make a kill happen. But mid one just turns it around beautifully. And at the same time, Secret not only taking the tier 1 in the mid lane, ready to put on pressure onto the tier 2. So, Offlane, Swift. Fine, playing around Puppey. He has nearly got that Shadow Blade, and as you said, that could be the thing to really have them skyrocketing kills. But mid lane again, they've lost the Rubik. Pi, you can have enough level 4 power shot. He is going to try for it, and it's close. Not quite close enough. Not quite enough damage to take it. But the space is there. Secret, they get another tier 2. Actually, they've lost the creeps, and they've lost Pile I Die. They're trying their best to finish the death. They're not going to be able to do it. They don't have the damage. As backdoor regeneration kicks in, that's allowing EPG to fight around the tower, get themselves a double kill for Gogi, and also deny the tower. So, off the back of kind of a good bit of momentum for Secret, suddenly fortune turns in EPG's favor.
Yeah, I don't think they're too sad about that though. At the very least, they get this tier 2 tower down, and a tier 2 falling at 12 minutes, especially the mid one, is absolutely massive. Makes it very, very difficult for them to move around the map. And gives Secret, it lets this bounty hunter scout even deeper, get even deeper wards much more easily. Mid one actually going into the Maelstrom now instead of.
Is it true? Yeah. What? So skipping the veil in favor of that. Do you imagine he will go back for the veil, or?
I don't think so. I don't think it's particularly good this game. The armor is nice for sure versus Slaughter and the PA, but it's not a game where you just want to walk around as 5 with your team. You have heroes that they kind of want to be together. You have this, the Terrorblade, the Wind Ranger, the Brood. They're all gonna sort of be in these stationary places. So you want this more mobile hero in the Ember that can actually get around and do things. You're not just this 5-man lineup. You're not gonna just walk down lanes. You aren't gonna be constantly fighting with the Veil. So it gets the Aqua lot instead for some of that armor. Is kind of nice. Gives them the mana regen. And it's a build we've seen a lot of the Chinese players start going for, is just not skipping the Veil and going straight into this Maelstrom. You farm very, very fast getting the Maelstrom this early on with the Slight, and it also just gives you a ton of damage. So I think it's quite good this game, makes them a lot more mobile.
Oh, Mitch and Swift ending on the hunt. Secret to have a few members about, but Gogi turning him as well has the Desolate to complete immediately with a stun. The catch out from Mitch and Swift. They'll take down the Ember. Swift now looking towards MP, and they're only going to go and find that one as well. The crit comes through as they'll take him down. They will end up losing the PA as Puppey picks him off on the way back out. A good shackle shot from Pi holding back the two of them. Same time up. Wow, where's KheZu? In the mid lane actually finds the Rubik. So it ends up being a 2 for 2. Obviously EPG will still be the happier as they take down both of the cores of Secret.
Yeah, I think this Terrorblade continuing to fall like this is giving a glimmer of hope to EPG. Thought originally at the draft there was just no way they could really take this game with all these just random single target heroes, a lot of gankers, very one-dimensional, but they've been getting the kills. They've been finding the things they need to, and MP going down 3 times already. Only has the Dragonlance and working towards that Yasha, so not really in this position where you're a Terrorblade, you just walk up to the buildings, they can't touch you, and you just kill everything. You start getting a couple of pick-me-up kills here and there. Now has the Oblivion Staff on top of the Shadow Blade, despite getting tri-laned early on, which typically as a Slark you think of as just the nail in the coffin, but has the gem now as well that we talked about, so he's going to go hunting for KheZu. Yeah,
getting a gem this timing on Slark as well, you're going to be able to get some really, really strong control of the map, aren't you? Secret do have ways of catching him, for sure, but if he can get the edge, he can get the kills.
He knows. I think he saw him, barely.
We'll be able to pick up a nice bit of spider gold there, though, the two of them, Swift ending and Colt. They clean that out. Same time, though, Secret are grouping up support. We'll look to take the tier 2. Can EPG find this one? LeBron heading forward, immediately changed up. ripped to pieces from Pi as the Shackleton power shot comes in. Another TP and a fortification coming from EPG. They're going to try their best to hold this one off. Mitch with the stun. Immediately on the back line is bursting down Cole, taking down Kogi, gets the tower as well. EPG, they've lost 3, and maybe even more. With a shackle shot like that, Pi finds Mitch. In comes the Shuriken. Mid one picks up a triple. Despite EPG's best efforts to hold, they end up giving mid one a triple kill, and gets the tower gold as well. So mid one shooting himself straight up the top of the board. 9.4k net worth at the moment on this Ember.
Yeah, and actually going for an early Shivas.
Interesting build.
Yeah, he's really mixing things up, and he's a player that isn't really afraid to change builds up to go for something a little bit unorthodox and suits the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think picking up this plate mail is super good in this game. They're like almost all physical damage, they're almost all single target. The Shivas is very, very good versus these heroes that don't typically build a lot of attack speed. PA, the Slark. They'll build attack speed a little bit later as the game goes on, but a lot more right now just about these, quick few attacks to try and burst the hero. But even just this casual plate mail increases his tankiness so much, and lets him play, continuing just jumping in the middle of heroes and not get bursted down like we saw at the 2-2.
Swift has found KheZu, but KheZu actually just happily skips himself over the walls of the Roche pit and back out of harm's way. And very shortly, those sort of movements aren't going to work at all, because KheZu, he's very close to having the money for the BKB. And once he has that, it's going to be very hard for the Slark to solo kill him. LeBron tracked up, chased down. Mid-1 comes in with the chains and attempts to hold them back. Mid throws out the stun, but it's not enough. Puppey saved by MP there with the Sunder. Puppey will still go down though. A loser 1-for-1. MP, his best efforts there to save his captain. Nearly put his own life in danger. Doesn't end up paying off though. EPG, the 1-1 trade there.
Yeah, they didn't use the Metamorphosis in that fight. I'm not sure if it was not off or if they just didn't want to pop it, but only has the Yashi. Still kind of wants to chill and farm a little bit on this Terrorblade. Mid one, a super dominant position, and after, oh wow, nice shot.
And then falls back with the setup. The follow through from mid one. They're only going to go and get themselves a kill there. Highlight eye. Certainly making it work. I mean, we saw him get that lane. That's helped him catch up to a good position. He's going to be going to Midas as well. So he'll scale up very nicely with that Midas gold and XP, and of course the track gold as well if they can get themselves finding more kills as the game progresses. EPG being forced back here. Secret trying to maintain good control around the Roche pit. Pretty crucial they do so, I guess, as well, but with the Slardar and the PA, there's definitely potential for EPG to make short work of that Roche pit, and Secret realize that.
Yeah, that's definitely a way for them back into this game.
Yeah.
And I think this game starts getting hard for EPG because they lost all these towers early on. Slark is typically known as a good hero versus the Terrorblade because you hold your towers up, and then he's this hero that you really don't want to push to these towers whenever you don't have vision. And so there's the Slark is at nighttime, you can see everything, you know which heroes to jump.
1 minute. Body senses. EPG weren't moving fully in there. 4-man spike rotation. Gets himself out of harm's way. KheZu, of course, now has that complete the BKB, so he is going to feel a lot more confident going out across the map against this start. Still maintains that Shadow Blade and Gem. And in fact, talking about the guy, they've got eyes on him at the moment. Puppey, track, they blow him up.
They really don't want to lose that Gem.
Got to keep Swift safe. And he's feeling fairly safe. As we saw there, in terms of catch, they don't have the best. You know, most of the time Swift ending, unless he gets caught out by a perfect chakra shot in between dark packs, he should be able to play his way out of any movement.
Yeah, I think sort of the issue is that he can't really make moves into Secret very well either.
He can't play anything offensive.
Yeah, so he can sort of go around the map, he can split lanes, get up to whatever items he can. I think when he gets the Silver Edge as well as the BKB, he'll be on a pretty good position to fight. He kind of wants a basher as well. Like it's definitely a game where Slark can thrive when he starts getting his items online. And Swift Ending, probably considered one of the best Slark players in EU. He's played Zero for a long time. He's definitely his best Zero. So very well versed on him. Yeah, picks up the Silver Edge now. This sort of becomes the issue though whenever you lose all your towers this early on. You versus an Ember Spear, you versus when you switch on these lanes with basically no risk. You start losing map control, and then take objectives with absolutely no trade-off.
Puppey now with the Solar Crest complete, so really getting the tools together to allow MPs to stand on that upper ground and be beefed up by his backline support.
Yeah, full Shiva's on mid one now as well, so
21
he is
minutes in.
so far.
And yeah, he's having an insane game on the end, but definitely one of his heroes that you can expect to see such performances. Going to get him won this game. I guess the question really is just where does he go next? Are we going to see anything else a little bit interesting? Do you think does he just upgrade the mouse to anything else you'd like to see? Are we going to get a blink picked up?
I think a blink would be fine. I think he may end up going for a blink. I don't think there's any item that's particularly amazing in this game. It's still possible for him to go down. The Octarine feels a little off here. It doesn't feel like it would do so much. The HP is kind of nice. But it's you kind of just want to be able to get on top of them, so I think he may end up actually going for the Blink Dagger. We'll have to see. I don't think any item particularly makes him that much stronger. I think he's extremely strong right now, and is like very, very down to fight. And I don't think any item will like actually increase how strong he is by that big of a margin. And I also don't think he's gonna get that much weaker for quite some time to come.
No. Definitely gonna have kind of fun. Quite some time. Swift ending. Actually, interesting enough, he's queued up the Lincoln Sphere. So, I mean, obviously once he gets that, he is going to be even harder to deal with in terms of killing, but it's still going to prolong the time until he's actually able to be that much of a scary threat himself, surely. Going there for this defensive sort of build, statting up and lacking control in that.
Yeah, it's a little bit unusual. Most Slarks we see, if they're going to go for Lincolns, they will skip the Echo Saber, and they'll just go straight to the Silver Edge and then to the Lincolns afterwards. Because whenever you go for that, the Echo Saber and the Lincolns, like you said, it's a lot of just tanky items that they both sort of give you the same thing. It's stats, it's mana regen, and it gets a little bit redundant. So we'll see if he completes it or he just has it in quick buy.
I guess it kind of works because they have the PA being the big damage dealer, but as I say that, the PA is not going to be dealing any damage from the grave. He's down 50. Mid one, just diving past the tier 3. Swift and is trying to come forward. Pops the Shadow Dance, but he immediately has to get out of there. And just like that, I mean, fortification will come through, but I think at the least, Elements may just lose a Rex off the back of that. Yeah, Metamorphosis is up and Secret are ready to push. Yeah,
the PA is still down for 30 seconds. There's no way they can fight into this. Whenever Secret gets set up, they just can't do anything.
And this is looking to all fall apart for Elements. Just like that. I mean, track kill after track kill. It's not going to get pretty for the financial situation here. On the side of Elements, the Secret. It felt like sort of a slow start for Secret. It certainly felt like they were starting to gain that momentum, that edge. But bam, certainly just like that, it all comes together. And EPG, they just don't seem to have an answer. They've lost one Rex. They're on the verge of losing a second, and they're losing hero after hero. Oh, but they make it the end, but they do. He's got the Aegis though. They'll be back from round 2. Gogi pops the BKB. Trying to look to finish off KheZu, but KheZu life steals up. It's going to be enough. Again, MP with the defensive Sunders, saving the Spider. Mid one, runners away from the aggressive movement of Swift ending. As Secret have ended the game. It feels like very, very shortly and quickly. Just like that. Buyback will come out from Swift. But they've lost 2 racks. Raindrops are being dropped on the ground. The tears of Elements Gaming left in the base. As they will hold on, they'll keep themselves in, but only just. This game has very drastically gone out of control for Elements.
I think Elements, with the draft they had, they kind of did what they needed to do. They gave Swift Ending a pretty decent lane. He got that early gem. They weren't actually able to kill the Brood. Only has the 1 death. But this Blink Dagger just came online too late. You've got a Slaughter, you have a Nyx, you have a P. Like they have so many heroes that all sort of do the same thing. I think Secret just a much more well-rounded lineup, and mid one actually going for the BKB.
Alright,
so
no messing really.
Yeah, so basically it makes him unkillable.
Yep.
Any HP item would be nice. He maybe survive for a little bit longer, but if he gets jumped by the Slaughter and the PA, can still die within the duration of a crush, possibly if he gets a crit or 2. So BKB makes it where he can just, you know, basically can't die with the armor as well. And they're not messing around. Like you said, they're just gonna go end the game, it looks like.
Yeah, they're ready to go for another push up top. I mean, we saw what in that last, how many buybacks we used? It was just the 2. Okay. But it was, yeah, it's with that, it's been the key one that did come out in that fight. And here we go. EPG, they've had trouble slowing this down twice. Can they do it a third time? Good stun on to mid one, gets the BKB out. Again, MP! Pretty much just been the son of a machine on the back lines. The mech comes through, in fact, MP's out. He's down. He'll get bursted down by a Fade Bolt. So they have lost the Terrorblade. That is a large part of Secret's push. And in fact, EPG may get more. They get the stun onto Ember Spirit. Mid one down. That's a gem dropping onto the decks as well. As a lot of money goes the way of Gogi with that pickoff. And Secret, they're losing more. The Amplify, with the stun, the control onto KheZu. Kill after kill after kill. Can they? They can't get the extra, surely. Pi out just in time. LeBron did come searching. Couldn't quite get there in time. Elements. Against the elements, they hold out. They hold on that top defense. Get some big kills, some big cash influx.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy for mid one. Just dives way behind the tower, didn't actually get the latch, and then immediately the Nyx jumps in, carapaces him, and the Rubik actually making a huge play, stole the remnant, and then triple remnanted on the Terrorblade and nuked him after he had sundered his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, we see MP, he's consistently just trying to save his teammates, and
yeah,
most of the times it's paid off, but that time it left him in a bit of a precarious position.
Yeah, and I think they thought they could maybe turn it around if he had swapped HPs with the Ember Spirit. They can maybe fight there, but instead they lose 3 cores, and an EPG, they hold the high ground, slowly working towards that next set of items. But I don't know how much that next set of items will actually do for EPG. They kind of just need to do that again. They need Secret to get a little over aggressive, kind of throw at the high ground out of that, or they find some pickoffs around the map. So see Swift Ending maybe skirt through the jungle, try and find some solo heroes. He does have the gem.
I like the decision as well from Swift to go for the BKB instead of the Link. It just feels like a better game for the BKB.
Yeah, I think so. Just not the Ember not being able to just drop the triple remnant while you're ultied is super nice. It's just so much damage. You know it'll block like the track or something, but that's not really something you care about all that much. You're purging it off the Dark Pack, getting a BKB does basically the same thing, and this is sort of a game where, as EPG, you kind of need to just full commit to these fights. You need to find an opportunity, and everybody just goes in and you just commit, because you're not really, you know, playing in and out with an Ember Spirit who's going to be rooting you. The Terrorblade's going to be consistently just dishing out right clicks. And if you're not killing them, you know, very, very quickly, then you'll kind of have issues. Whereas Linkens is more of an item for these long, drawn-out fights where you want to dodge specific spells consistently, beat the hero that's hard to lock down.
Oh, and saying that, he says screw the BKB and picks up the Diffusal.
To purge Windrun?
You can purge what the Flame God?
Yeah, and Windrun.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting choice. I mean, that does give you a bit of the damage and a bit of the control that we talked about. They have a Bastion now on Gogi as well.
I think that may be necessary. I think they realize that if Secret plays this game safe and they just push
Oh, smoke dispelled.
That's such a good position from everyone.
Yep. Enya sitting there, and Secret may want to fight this. One track down. Careful not to latch. KheZu immediately rips to pieces the Rubik. Gogi in trouble. He's BKB. He's trying to get his way out of this, but the chase down is there. Swift Ending's down and out. 3 dead on EPG, and that's not going to be the end of the casualties. They'll move on for another triple kill for KheZu. GG is called, and there was maybe small hopes for EPG to pull off one last defense there with the Bastion and the Diffusal, but it wasn't enough at the end of the day against how much Secret of the Lancer to earlier on. The amount of damage they got done with that initial push onto the bottom of mid lane ranks.